Good morning. Happy Sabbath. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for responding. Good morning to everyone. It's a beautiful Sabbath. Sorry, Nyasha and Feli, for the branch that just fell a little bit ago. Everybody's okay there? You know, the wind was blowing today, so hopefully these branches don't fall on any of us. It's good to be outside. It's warm today, and we're glad that it's warm because we have a baptism today. It's going to be a special day. So I want to welcome all of you, and I want to give a special welcome to some family that's traveled here for this special occasion. Pastor Biaggi and his wife are here for Gio's baptism, and we're so glad that they are able to join us and for Pastor Biaggi to baptize Gio today. And of course, Pastor Biaggi is one of the vice presidents for the General Conference, so we're especially welcoming him today. We're welcoming all of you. Maybe this is the first time you're here as well. Thank you for coming if it is, and we look forward to meeting you and getting acquainted with you. I want to draw your attention to the Bulletin today. If you haven't downloaded the Bulletin from the email or from our website, there's a lot of important announcements in that Bulletin today, especially. And let me go through them one by one for the ones that we especially need to highlight today. First of all, today is the first reading for a membership transfer for Pastors Lavisha and Maria Yankovic from the Yugoslavian SDA Church in Chicago, Illinois, in the United States of America to our University Church. So this is the first reading. The second reading will be next week and a vote. So we're glad you guys are going to be officially members here very soon, and we are so glad your family's here. I also want to do a first reading for the nominating committee report. You know, we have vacancies that come up throughout the year, and we fill those vacancies, the church board does, with a nominating committee. And so we have a first reading for Women's Ministries assistants, which are Ingrid Sand and Diana Masiha. Those would both be serving as Women's Ministries assistants. And then the Health Ministries leader is Maria Shajii. And so this is the first reading for these new ministry leaders as well. And then next Sabbath we will have a second reading for those and a vote. Okay? Now we have another nominating issue to deal with because we have a Lebanon Legal Association quadrennial session coming up. So this happens every 4 years, and our church gets delegates to that meeting. And so the church board has nominated, we get 5 delegates, and so we have 5 delegates and we have 2 alternates. So here are the delegates from our church: Pastor Darren Boyd, Ebtisam Abdallah, John Jack Kare, Hagop Manukian, and Ara Barkanian. And then we have 2 alternates in case one of them cannot come because they're sick or something happens. And those alternates are Joel Barkanian and Lara Haddad. This is not a first and second reading. This is just a nomination, and we would like to take a vote on this today. So is there a motion to accept these delegates? Thank you. And second, all in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Thank you for those delegates who will represent us at that important meeting that's coming up November 8th on Sunday in a couple of weeks from now. I want to also draw your attention to next Sabbath, we're going to have communion. We haven't had communion since the pandemic hit. So it's time to do communion, and we're planning to do it outside, Lord willing, as if the weather allows us. It's the safest before we have to move inside for the wintertime services. So plan for communion for next Sabbath. At this point, we're not sure if we're going to do the foot washing as part of that service. So check your emails this week. The tentative plan is to encourage you to do foot washing with your families at home, and then here we will do the Lord's Supper only. If that changes, we'll communicate that by email and let you know, but that's our current plan, okay? Also, immediately following communion, the next week, Monday through Friday, is Week of Spiritual Emphasis for Middle East University and University Church. So the university students have morning week of prayer, week of spiritual emphasis that whole week. And in the evenings, we have evening meetings the whole week as well. And we have a special week of spiritual emphasis being planned. Pastor Raphael will be speaking for the morning for the students. And then we're going to have a inspiring evening program with a student-led evening service for the church. More details will be coming about that next week, but we will let you know the times and so forth about that next week. I want to invite Ruth to come forward and share with us about a special Women's Ministries event coming up.
Happy Sabbath to you all. I'm excited to announce on November 7, we're going to slide a women's ministry event in on a Sabbath afternoon before it gets too cold or wet or rainy. So Sabbath afternoon, 3:30, we will meet down at the Union Lawn. It will be socially distanced and safe like church, but we plan to gather together and just to have a really good time as women together fellowshipping. So I hope you can be there. And please RSVP to me so that we can plan appropriately. If you don't know my number, it's in the bulletin, or you can ask a friend. I also want to highlight really quick on this table over here, we have brochures that are beautiful to hand out. They're wonderful stories from the Bible, but they are told in such a way that it wouldn't be offensive to anyone, and they will really, really encourage women. So these are free, and you can take as many as you want. You can hand them to your neighbors. You can hand them to people that you meet on the streets or anywhere. You can slip them in Christmas gifts, but they're just a real source of encouragement to women. So please share those. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ruth. Couple more important announcements as we get ready to transition to another very important part of our service. In a couple weeks, on November 12, Thursday, November 12, we're going to have a church business meeting. It's going to be online only, so you can join from your homes or your offices, wherever you're at. You can join the church business meeting Thursday, November 12. One of the main items which will be on that agenda is the church budget, the new church budget for the new year, the new church year. So please plan to join us for that business meeting in a couple of weeks. And then the last one I want to highlight, you know we've been blessed to be outside for church for the last few months. But we know the weather's changing because it rained this week, and it got windy last night. So we are prepared for a shift inside. We've had a subcommittee that's been working on this, and the church board heard their report and recommendations on Thursday night at our meeting, and the board approved the following new schedule. So please pay attention to this, and we will keep announcing it so you get it in your minds as the new way that we're going to try for the winter time. Now, please note that's not the law of the Medes and the Persians, which cannot change or be altered. It can be changed and can be altered, but this is what we're going to try, at least for now, okay? The first service, there's going to be two services. First service will be 9:15 to 10:15. First service is a worship service.